he's no stranger to drama so far in this tournament. So runners have been given the green light. We should be starting any minute now. I am interested to see what kind of run narfman's going to do considering his competition, and Cujo, I'm sure, will be more than capable of bringing it tonight. So we're off. 1-1. You're going to see a couple of different strats already. Narfman sticking to Small Mario while Cujo got the early mushrooms. So Narfman is out just a little bit ahead of Cujo, but that's not really necessarily indicative of anything. So 1-2 underway. Another pretty standard level where you get to display your fine platforming skills, as both of our runners do. So Narfman's going to have to pick up both power-ups here, whereas Cujo's just going to have to get the leaf at the end here. So this is going to roughly even them out. Cujo taking a slight lead here, as Narfman works to catch up to him. Both of them look like they're going to get the speed, be able to fly over the ledge and get the whistle. Now, this is a Warpless race, and the only reason they're getting the whistle here is because it's faster than going after Boom Boom. So, while they will be getting that whistle, they will not be using it, of course. Cujo getting an early Hammer Bro. That might save a little bit of time just because he doesn't have to wait for the Hammer Bro to move around between levels, whereas Narfman's going to have to wait a couple more times. So, looks like overall Cujo is probably a little bit ahead, even though it would appear to be otherwise. Let's see, Narfman going to go for what is called the Superman strat and gets it, where you try and get to P speed and then leap over the ledge and jump on that Koopa. Cujo does it perfectly as well. So, good start from both runners. In World 1, Narfman getting his Hammer Bro, takes care of him, gets a star. Cujo's in at the airship at 224. Narfman's in at about 230, so a 6-second difference early on in this race. So, World 1 airship, one of many, many auto-scrollers our runners will be encountering today. Pretty standard auto-scroller in World 1. Just kind of get you acclimated to the airships and all the potential traps that they can throw at you. Most of them anyways, but pretty basic. The key here is to get, if you don't have a fire flower, to get the fire flower, because you're going to try and go for a fire kill on Larry, the first Koopa Kid. Again, pretty standard, shouldn't be too difficult. The hitboxes can be a little weird with Larry. Cujo doing a little bit of RNG manipulation, a little AI manipulation to get Cujo to get Larry to fall, to go his way. Narfman having a little more trouble, actually got hit, so he'll have to go for the standard 3 hits on Larry. And Cujo finished at 330, and Narfman grabbed the one at 341, so an 11-second difference early on here in the race. A lot of game left to be played, and there could be some divergence starting here in World 2, not the least of which is that Cujo has a fire flower and Narfman does not, which will allow Cujo, if he holds onto that fire flower, to get a quick fire kill on Boom Boom and 2-4. Whereas Narfman will not have that luxury. But other than that, their general strats aren't going to be all that different in the early part of World 2. Narfman had a little trouble with the music boxes, but is otherwise having a clean 2-1, and Cujo just underway in 2-2 here. Another stage that, I don't think that was his intention. He wanted to go for use the Koopas as you know, to bounce off of them and get to the end of this water bed without any trouble. But actually went through with the Koopa there. So that was unfortunate, but still gets through. Narfman was a little cleaner in his execution in 2-2. So he gains a couple of seconds here. Cujo P-speeding his way through the opening room in 2-2 here. Or 2-4, I mean, excuse me. So... second to last room. I'm gonna get P-speed to fly over these spike barriers, no problem. Easy fire kill for Cujo. Narfman following suit on with the same kind of strat. Cujo not getting a very good pattern from the Hammer Bros right now. So the ideal is to get the first Hammer Bro, which has a music box, over where he is for Narfman, so you only have to deal with one Hammer Bro as opposed to two in this world. Narfman's got a good pattern going here. Cujo might have to fight both of them, which adds about 15 seconds here. Not a terrible thing, but not what you would like to see.
And I guess I will butt in here for just 1 second. I've finally got around to joining you. I was commentating the other race, so...
Yeah, welcome, Rupert. We're just getting started here. Got an interesting race so far. Both runners are on... at the same level. Cujo's ahead, but he's gonna have to deal. It looks like he's gonna have to deal with a second Hammer Bro here. Narfman's not gonna have that problem right now. By the same token, that also means Cujo might not have to deal with the music box Hammer Bro, or hopefully not in World 5. So it could end up evening out. Narfman going through 2-5. Cujo went through 2-4 because the Hammer Bros are closer. So what's it going to be for this? It is a music box.
Yeah, and even if that was the Hammer, unfortunately, the position of the Hammer Bros, he's going to have to play them both anyway, which is unfortunate. But hopefully he can skip the music box in World 5 to make up the lost time that he has from picking up the music box from here.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where you just kind of have to deal either way. It's not a big thing in either case, but you know, it's 15 seconds potentially. Based on their PBs, you wouldn't think that would be a big deal, but you never know.
Oh, and Cujo takes a hit to one of the Buzzy Beetles there at the end of the pyramid.
Yeah, that's going to preclude him from immediate fire strats in World 3, so he'll have to do an extra pickup along the way, probably in 3-2. But so Narfman, just based on the text scroll, has a very slim lead because he didn't have to do two Hammer Bros. Is that going to make an enormous amount of difference? Probably not, but he has played pretty well so far. He had a little hiccup in the World 1 airship by getting clipped by Larry, but otherwise he's been pretty solid. Cujo's had some unfortunate RNG and had a little trouble in 2-2, but otherwise been his usual solid self.
For the question of is there a no power speedrun category, the answer to that question is there is an any percent Mario. There's an any percent small Mario only category, and there's a Warpless small Mario only category. So, the quick answer to that question is yes, there are small only categories for this game. Cujo plays on console. Narfman, I'm not sure which he plays on. I can't really tell for sure. But Cujo does play on console.
Both are perfectly acceptable. So basically even through World 2, about 949 for both. Cujo and Narfman is maybe half a second ahead.
Yeah, so very, very, very close. And I did look it up, and Narfman is using emulator. So let's see how World 3 goes for both players. Let's see if anybody gets the first frame jump. Cujo gets it. So if you get the timing perfectly on that, you can actually jump before you touch the water at the beginning of 3-1, which gives you a slight advantage. Cujo's going to stop here and pick up his Fire Flower, since he managed to lose that earlier. So Narfman's going to pull ahead just a little bit here. But they're going to move on to 3-2, which could be a very, very trolley level with the bad hitboxes, the cheaps, and if you can actually get and maintain the P-speed as well. So let's see how that goes. Narfman looks like he's not going to try for the P-speed strat. Cujo's going to, and Cujo's going to get it. So let's see how the rest of the level goes for him.
It was going fine for Narfman, but then he ran into some trouble at the midsection and actually lost his Fire Flower. So he'll have to get it back in 3-3.
So that was a very well executed level from Cujo. He got the P-speed, didn't get any bad luck with the cheap hitboxes. So Narfman did have a little issue, but that kind of shows how much faster the P-speed strat is for that level.
It's like Narfman's got a good setup, it seems, with the Hammer Bros. You don't want to run away Hammer Bro in this world. Ideally, you want to come to 3-6 with 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, the 4, 3-4, and 2 Hammer Bros down. Looking good for Cujo as well.
Yeah. So if you have a runaway bro, it runs off to the right side of the screen. If it runs away and doesn't come back by the time that you get to 3-6, you actually have to take a death on 3-6 to put the bridge back down so that you can cloud over the level. So also with that is if you have any power-ups, you're going to lose that from having to take the death as well. So it's pretty costly if you have to do that. But there's not really much you can do to avoid that. It's just kind of either you get lucky or you don't.
Yeah. The good news is the odds of it aren't especially high, but it is something you do have to be cognizant of. So both Cujo and Narfman get their hammers, and they're going to take on the second Hammer Bro shortly to get a star. Right now, 3-4 awaits.
So it looks like runaway bro shouldn't be an issue for Cujo. Narfman, I didn't see where the other Hammer brother was, but I think it's okay as well.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, so no bad luck from the bros on this match. Cujo making his way through 3-8. You have to be really careful not to die on this level. If you do, you have to play this level and 3-6, which is an auto-scroller. So this is definitely one of those levels in this game that you have to be really mindful of to not take a death test. It's very costly if that happens.
And it has happened in this tournament to veterans and newbies alike. Nobody is immune to this.
Absolutely.
So, good 3-8 from both players. Cujo gonna go for H jump, I believe, in 3-9, and ooh, just a little off there.
Yeah. And Narfman picking up the fresh 5 up. Probably not exactly what he wanted, but yeah. Narfman does well with the ace jump. I believe Cujo had a little bit of an issue making it over that, but nice job by Narfman.
Ooh. Rid of that cheat before going through the pipe. So Cujo gets to Wendy's airship first. about 14:37, 38. Narfman's going to be about 15, about 13, 14 seconds behind. So a good race early on.
Yep, there's still a lot of game left, and still a lot of factors such as the hands waiting later on in the game. So
yeah,
this definitely doesn't suggest one way or the other of who may win this race quite yet.
World 3 can be that first like sort of divide between like the really good runners and the less experienced runners, but both held very steady here in World 3. So as you would expect from given their PBs. So now as we get ready to enter really the second real big chunk of the game with Giant Land, Skyland, and Iceland. It's interesting to see how strong and on point their execution is on some of these more challenging levels.
Let's see if Cujo gets the fire kill here. I'm sure he will. Nice job.
Yeah. Double tap strikes on Wendy, and he finishes World 3 at 16 minutes flat. Narfman.
And having a little bit of an issue with the fire kill, but he gets it. And so about 15 seconds separate the two players going into World 4.
Yeah, so very good start for both runners. They've each had their share of little minor hiccups, but otherwise have been very solid. I know just because he was in the same quad as me, Cujo had a really good start in his opening match, and then ran into a little bit of trouble in the second half, but still put up a pretty solid time. So I'm sure he's worked to groove some of those faults that may have plagued him a little bit in last week's race. As far as Narfman, he's holding steady with him, about a half a stage behind. P-speed strats at 4.2 from Cujo. Let's see if Narfman can repeat that.
Maybe I'm just too loud. So we're moving on to 4-3 for Cujo. Narfman is pretty close behind. This is one of the fun levels to watch when it's executed well. It's just like I said, it's just a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to speedrun this level too.
I haven't quite mastered that part yet, but yeah, the watching part, yeah, this is definitely quite a display.
But great execution by Cujo. Unfortunately, Narfman got hit by the Buzzy Beetle, but he may still be able to finish up the level just fine. Oh, and he didn't get the duck jump. I don't know if he tried to press it too late or what exactly happened there, but to clear that Buzzy Beetle, you have to do a duck jump, and you have to do it late enough so that you don't hit it. But
yeah.
But Narfman still made it through pretty quickly, so he's not going to lose a ton of time from that. But he will lose a bit from having to pick up the power-ups again.
Cujo getting rid of the Lakitu in 4-4 make his exit a little easier. Hopefully, ooh, could have been sniped there, but manages to get through.
I've been told that they have turned your mic volume up a little bit, so hopefully that'll even us out a little bit.
Okay, sounds good, thanks. So Cujo's opting for 4-6 here.
And you'll see 4-6 opted for by most players. I've seen a few exceptions to that actually, but most of the time you'll see players pick 4-6 over 4-5.
Yeah. Cujo using his music box, given the position of the Hammer Bros, which is a very smart part. Won't have to deal with either of them. Narfman using his music box 4-6. His hammer bro position isn't quite as ideal as Cujo is going to have to rely on a little bit of luck here. So Cujo getting ready to do the second most exciting 2 minutes in sports, next to the Kentucky Derby, of course. The World 4 airship.
Yeah, there's nothing really that makes anything about this airship exciting. It's slow. It's not really difficult. You just have to kind of just suffer through it for the 2 minutes or so that it takes to complete the level.
Yeah.
So this is one of those situations for people watching that there's not really much going on right now. If you need to get up and get a drink, now is probably the time to do it.
Narfman,
he gets the screen transition skip on the hammer bro there.
it's very fortuitous for him. Gives him a chance to saves him about a 12 to 15 seconds right there, so that's very good for him. He's underway while Cujo is at about the 2/3 mark of this airship.
Hopefully Cujo won't have any bad luck with the hitboxes on. Oh, and he gets hit, unfortunately.
22-18 for Cujo, the World 4. Yeah, I think he was he had to be 1 or 2 fireballs away from a fire kill on Iggy there, so that's unfortunate, but it's a minor time loss overall. Narfman nearing the end of the airship. Nice leap over the chasm.
On to World 5 for Cujo. You probably really want to have fire here, but he probably won't pick that up until 5-7 would be where I would assume that he would pick it up. There is one that you could actually pick up in 5-2, but you have to go through the pipe, and I doubt that Cujo would actually find it worth it to spend the extra time to pick that one up. So he's probably without fire until 5-7.
Right. So I think Narfman finished at about 23-20, so he's about a minute behind, give or take. Going into World 5. Good 5-2 from Cujo. Go on to 5F1. Now, normally you'd think levels are faster than forts, but this is one case where that is not true because 5-3 is much longer than 5F1, and especially when you execute P-speed strats like Cujo did there.
And 5-3 is a lot more difficult as well. It's a very awkward level to make it through for players who are familiar with that level.
So Cujo's got a pretty good draw here. It looks like with the Hammer Bros, only have to deal with one here. Gets his P-wing. comment in chat. SMB any percent only auto scrollers. I think there'd be 1 or 2 objections to that, Scott.
What do you mean? I feel all the runners will be totally down for that category.
Well, maybe, but I don't know. I think enough of them would die of boredom well before they got to the finish. So, Narfman has no problems with Boom Boom and 5F1, and Cujo is heading to
5-4.
To the Skyland portion of this world. Like Narfman's also going to deal with both Hammer Bros, so he's going to get his star and a P-Wing. Extra star is not a bad thing. You can use them in a few strategic locations, make life a little easier.
Looks like no issues for 5-4 for Cujo. That's one of those levels because of the waterfalls that can actually create some lag, which can throw some players off and end up in a death on that. So no problems for Cujo on that. Yeah. Cujo landed just a little bit short there and loses his power up, but luckily there's a mushroom right there for him to grab, and he loses a minimal amount of time to pick that back up.
Yeah, he undershot the jump just a little bit, but not a big thing. 5-7 underway for Cujo as Narfman's just about finished with the tower level, I call it.
Oh, and Cujo jumped a little too high and missed the entrance of the pipe, but luckily he didn't get hit.
Yeah, you want to hold on to that fire for a little while here if you can. Certainly all the way up until 6F1. Nice P-speed execution. Good. Sithcliffe in chat saying SMB3 any percent swag strats only. Well, before we get to that point, I think there'd have to be a long discussion about what qualifies as a swag strat.
Yeah, I feel like there would be a lot of definitions that would have to exist before you could run something like that. Like, what exactly qualifies as swag, and can you constantly do it? Because that's kind of what that sounds like to me, is you'd have to be constantly doing some sort of swag strat for the entire run. So.
Yeah. Like one of those street carnival performers or something. Star swag, according to the Haxer. Okay, well.
So for Cujo, it played out in his favor. He didn't have to play the Hammer Bro here in the clouds since he had the music box in World 2. So fortunately that played out well for him. Narfman, I think, got to skip the music box in World 2, so he's picking it up here. He didn't really have a choice because of the where the Hammer Bro was, but so it looks like that aspect of the game played out well for both players.
Yeah, it evened out pretty nicely. So long as they have one in place for World 7. That's the ideal. You don't want to deal with the second piranha if you can help it. Especially if you're going to be doing a cloud skip of a 7F2. I suspect both of them will be. Perhaps you can say otherwise, Rupert, but I imagine, just based on general preference, 7F2 is the one that'll get skipped later.
As far as which level they use the cloud on, are you saying? I'm sorry. Did you say skip F2 or play 7F2?
Skip 7F2.
I guess that very much depends on who's doing that, and I guess it's hard to say definitively which way it would go. For some players, they will skip 7-9 and play 7F2. You'll probably see some of the some of the newer players actually play 7F9 and cloud over 7F2, and then there's also the other strat of where you play both levels in the cloud over the fortress in World 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not entirely sure which strat that Cujo uses or narfman. So I guess we'll just have to see which they take. And also, since this is a race situation, the strat that they use could be different than what they would normally do as well, if they're trying to play it safe.
That's true. First, Cujo needs to get those Hammer Bros to settle down.
Yeah, getting a little bit of a parade there. Not much you can do about that. But fortunately, it didn't go on too long for him. I've seen the parades go on for 30 seconds or more. so in terms of having the Hammer Bro parades, that wasn't too bad. Cujo probably going to get the star kill on Boom Boom here. Nice, quick, easy kill. And narfman finishes up World 5.
Yeah. narfman finished at 30.50, grabbed the one at 30.53. Cujo did it at 29.30, so an 83-second gap between the two runners through World 5. Cujo starting 6-4 as narfman gets ready to enter World 6.
And whoops, narfman headed the wrong direction there for just a second. Then he turns around and starts heading the right direction. Cujo took the chance and lost on that one. So he was trying to get the quick jump on the Hammer Bro, and he messed up on the execution of that. But he gets it second time around.
And gets the item he wanted in the first place, the Cloud. So this...
Oh, and he
Oops.
That
wasn't supposed to happen.
Not typically, unless this is a new strat that I'm unaware of. Yeah, so I don't think Cujo intended to do that.
Oh dear. Well.
So let's see. I'm trying to play this out in my head now of how this is going to go.
Well, he'll use the Cloud to skip 7-4. That's pretty much a gimme. He's gonna have to play everything else.
Yeah. So he's gonna have to play. I would say he'll probably have to play both 7-9 and 7F2.
Yeah.
New strat 30 years later. So that was that's unfortunate for Cujo. But yeah, so he's gonna. That's probably the route he'll take. He'll play both 7-9 and 7F2. Playing 7-4 is, like you said, is not really an option. That's not really going to be an option at all. So
no. So he uses P-Wing on 6-9, no problem there. narfman, I think, was toying with the idea of going for the despawn, then just picks up the Koopa shell and does it normally, so he's out of 6-5. Nicely done. Cujo at 6F3, fairly challenging for it, just especially this opening room. There's a lot of going up and down trying to avoid enemies, but no problems overall for him. narfman getting a good draw from the Hammer Bros, so he only has to deal with 2. It looks like he's going to get skip he wanted. Nicely done. Cujo's entering the World 6 airship.
So narfman should be able to pick some ground back up in World 7 from Cujo having to play an extra level. So so it looks like Cujo's farther ahead than what he actually is when you take that into account.
Right. Yeah, it won't be enough to completely close the gap, but it's probably going to give him about a 20-25 second jump, depending on how everything goes.
Cujo gonna go for the useless clip, and no, he doesn't. So now I guess would be a good time for everyone to guess how many tries is it going to take Cujo to get through the wall in 7-1.
I will say 6.
I'll go with 3.
We got a 6 and a 3. So come on, chat, give us your best guesses here.
I underestimated Mitch on the last race. I said 3 and he got it first try, of course. So.
Well, that was your first mistake. You underestimated Mitch.
Yeah, that really was my mistake.
So Cujo gets it at 35-45, I'll say. Made walk herd. You're in the. This is the wrong game. There are no blue balls here. 31. Wow, 31 jumps. At that point, you'd be better off playing 7-1.
All right, on to World 7 for Cujo. Let's see how many tries it takes him to get through the wall. 4. So that's 4 is pretty decent.
Yeah.
I was close.
Congrats, New Grenade. You get a shiny new dime for guessing correctly. And feel free to make your predictions for Narfman. He's just underway in the World 6 airship.
Cujo trying to get P-speed here so they can clear the huge gap without having to use the music blocks. Looks like he's got that no problem. So great 7-2 for Cujo. That's one of those levels that can get really nasty really quickly if you mess up that beginning of the level.
Yeah, it can be a real time sink, and 7-2 is not the easiest of levels for sure if things start to go awry. Got an interesting mix of numbers for Narfman's 7-1. I'm going to say 5.
I'll go with 4 on this one.
You'll go with 4? Alright, 7-3 done for Cujo. Narfman finishes at 37:51. So that 2 minutes and 6 second gap is a little deceiving just because Cujo accidentally skipped 6-5, so he shaved about 25 seconds off of that. So 7F1, one of 2 levels in the game that requires you to have flying ability to get out, the other of course being 6-5. Here's Narfman.
First
try. Well. Froze and Danknom3, shiny new dime for you too as well. And DJ Tori, I believe, as well. I think that was a prediction. 7-6, no problem for Cujo, uses the P-Wing.
Let's see if Narfman gets 7-2. Building up his P-speed.
He's got the P-speed going and
looks
clears
like he's
the
got
chasm.
And he's gonna hold up there just a little bit. Cujo taking an intentional damage here. Maybe not the second one, but the first one was most likely intentional to just deboost through it and keep his speed up. So Cujo looks like he's going to pick up the hammer suit here.
Might as well. Nothing else, it gives him a couple extra hit. It gives him an extra hit to work with.
And Cujo making it through all of that there to keep his hammer suit. We'll see how long he keeps it. Narfman, unfortunately, ends up a little bit short on the jump there and takes a hit. As long as he makes it through here okay, it's not really going to matter that much, as he's going to be P-winging the next 2 levels anyway. So Cujo's going for the clips. Looks like he's already got 2 of them.
He was 2 for 2 on the first try, and 3 for 5 overall. 4 for 6. That's very impressive.
Yeah, pretty good round of clips for Cujo.
So, Narfman working his way up 7F1. Cujo underway in the world 7F2, probably the hardest level in the game.
Cujo just barely avoiding some of the enemies here.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is probably not the first time he has done this, so I'm sure he has a decent... Oh, no, and he loses his hammer suit there.
Yeah, it was a good run while it lasted, but Narfman's finished 7-6. He's got a chance to narrow the gap a bit here, because he's still got a cloud left, and Cujo has burned through all of his by mistake.
And
so
Narfman trying to catch the star. He manages to pick that up. So we'll see how much. Oh no, he ran out of an invincibility. So Narfman's unfortunately going to do 7-8 again. Oh, he's going to cloud 7-8 and do 7-9 instead. Interesting.
Okay. Well.
And Narfman is not going for the clips. Pretty much with this level, if you're good at the clips, it can definitely save a decent chunk of time. But if you're not that experienced with the clips, or you're just having some bad luck with it, you can actually lose a lot of time from doing it as well. So an unfortunate turn of events for Narfman.
And Narfman almost came to regret his choice, because he almost got dinged by a Paragoomba early on, but managed to avoid what would have been probably a race-killing run for him, event for him. So
now Narfman's going to have to play the fortress as well.
Yeah, the star will help him through the opening section, if nothing else. He's going to get another one here. See how well his platforming skill, how honed his platforming skills are. And yeah, very nice. So Cujo near the end of the World 7 airship, the longest level in the game.
The Cujo's PB is 51:27.
Yeah. And nice 7F2 from Narfman.
Nice shot from Cujo taking care of Ludwig. So moving on to World 8. Here in just a moment. Do you know how to run the hands game? Or do you? I can do it if you want me to.
Yeah, you probably better serve doing it on this time. Thanks.
Yeah. So here in just a moment, I'm going to start the hands game, and what chat can do is you type the number of hands between both players that you think they'll get. So if like Cujo gets 3 and Narfman gets 1, then you'd put in 4. So let's go ahead and start that.
It should also be noted that if, for example, you go through all the hands and then you get to Air Force and you die and you have to start all over, those hands count again. So just because you get through clear does not mean you won't get any hands. You still got to play through Air Force before you can officially be free and clear of any hands. So makes for some interesting, and dying also counts. So if you die, for example, in the first hand stage and you have to do it again, that counts as 2, not 1.
I will close the voting for that when Cujo gets to the screen, or the next part of the overworld where you can actually see the hand levels. And of course, since there's stream delay, it'll end a little bit before you actually see that show up. So go ahead and get your guesses in now, and we'll see how many hands each player gets. The race I just commentated, Mitch got 0 hands after I was told that Mitch always gets 3 hands. So.
Well, you know. Race luck, what can we say?
Alright.
Good Ludwig fight from narfman, 45-47, so a 2-minute 13-second difference between the runners going into World 8.
No way both getting 0 hands. I mean, that's possible. Mathematically, that's possible.
Yeah.
Likely, no, not at all, but...
It's a 1 in 8 chance of getting it.
Let's see, that would be... Let's see, what would the percentage be on both players getting 0 hands? Would that be 6.25%?
Be 1 in 16, so...
So yeah, it should be 6.25% if I'm not completely doing this incorrectly.
Yeah, because it'd be 1/8 plus 1/8, I think,
Yeah.
rather than the other way around. But it's also been a long time since I had to do any kind of math like that, and I was told there would be no math.
Yeah. And Esmo's correct here. It doesn't take into account the human element. So.
Yes, the human element always.
So it just throws everything out of the window when you factor in the human element. So. Alrighty, so it is time for me to stop the voting here. 0 hands for Cujo.
Well. Though.
So that definitely helps Cujo's cause quite a bit here. So pretty much at this point, this definitely is Cujo's race to win, race to lose, however you want to put that.
Yeah.
Could we actually get both players with no hands?
That would be something.
I'm almost anticipating this at this point. I mean, granted, it's very unlikely, but I guess we'll see.
So, real quick thing about the hands. The hand bridge will randomly, it's a 50-50 chance of it pulling you up and pulling you down. There are three of them. So it's basically a coin flip every single time you go across. So you could get it or you might not. It's entirely random. And if you get across, great. If you don't, well, you got to play a short level.
Great 8-1 by Cujo. That's one of the more difficult levels in the game to execute quickly. So great job by Cujo.
That's correct, Madewalk. Yes, if you cross it once and then decide to go back, you are essentially tempting fate. I'd like to see how many times somebody could do it without getting caught.
Cujo backing off just a little bit there at the end of 8-2 to make sure he avoids running into the Angry Sun. But now he will move on to the Fortress.
So Cujo in 8-4 while Narfman gets ready to cross the hand bridge. Can he do it? Nope.
Yep, he's got the first hand at least. And Cujo, did he have a hesitation somewhere of where he? I didn't catch the whole thing. He must have had a hesitation somewhere for him to do that.
I think he might have stopped a little too much, trying to avoid getting hit. And Narfman incidentally got across to the Air Force. It looks like it's going to be one hand, provided he doesn't die here. So he's halfway there. Meanwhile, Cujo is on his way to the Super Tanks level.
We'll see if he does the patented Auglib Super Tank Strat TM. I think I said it correctly this time. So basically, the strat for this is you just stay to the right of the screen, shoot everything that gets in your way, and jump over anything that looks like you need to jump over it. Okay, so one hand for Narfman. Yeah, I was doing commentary for Mitch's run, so yeah, he got 0 hands on that one. So that was fun to see. Let's see how Narfman does with 8-1. He had the P speed, but looks like he got a despawn there, and it looks like it threw him off a little bit. So he wisely backed off and keeps his power ups to take it on to 8-2.
So Cujo has no problem with the last boom boom of the game. Narfman's underway in 8-2. The second and final appearance of the Angry Sun.
Cujo starting Bowser's Castle. He gets the clip. Very nice. Narfman moving on to the World 8 Fortress. Let's see if Cujo gets the kill on Bowser. It takes 35 fireballs to kill Bowser. And looks like he should have it. No problem for Cujo. So very nice performance from Cujo. We'll see what his
gets the one cycle on 8-4.
So Cujo finishes with an SRL time of... Oh, wait, I'm not in the SRL channel. Are you in the... I forgot to join the SRL channel.
One sec on that, I'll get it for you.
So it looks like it's roughly a 5308 is what he has on his splits. We will see if Cujo is going to join us for an interview here in just a moment. But GG to Cujo, and congratulations on the win.
I think timed out on me,
5309 for Cujo. Is the SRL time.
5309 for Cujo, thank you. So Narfman, according to speedrun.com, has a PB of 55.55. I don't know how up to date that is, but PB. We'll see. In the meantime, we welcome in our winner tonight, Cujo. Welcome.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Congratulations on the win.
Thanks, man. It was kind of rough in a few spots, but overall I felt pretty good about it. World 6, that was a weird one. I accidentally used the cloud to skip 6-5 instead of the P-wing, like I normally would, but fortunately I need a tail for the next fort anyways, so...
So that ended up working out pretty well for you. There definitely could have been other things that could have happened that would have been definitely a lot worse than that. So, but it looks like you mitigated the situation pretty well there.
Yeah, best I could.
Yeah, and narfman actually ended up using his cloud in 7-8 after dying pretty late in the levels, so didn't want to go through that again.
We're watching narfman try to finish Bowser here, and it looks like he's gonna have to wait a little bit. He should have it now. So fire kills from both players. And narfman finishes with
looks like it with official SRL time of 56:03.
56:03.
So he just missed his PB.
So good run from narfman. We'll see if he's going to join us for an interview as well. So Cujo, you're moving on to let's see where you are. Okay, so you're going to be facing the winner of Alglib, or I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce his name. Is Abuba?
Booba.
But so you'll be playing the winner of that matchup for round 4. So how do you feel about? Because both of them are actually pretty good players. Is there anything you're going to work on in particular, or anything looking forward to for that matchup?
Yeah, they're both really good competition. I can't wait to race whoever it is that ends up winning their race. I don't know. I guess I need to just practice everything in general. I've been feeling kind of just rusty everywhere, nowhere in particular. Maybe a little bit in the late game, but I don't know.
We welcome narfman to the chat. GG.
Yo, GG, especially Cujo, awesome time. The hype is real in the narfman household, by the way. That is about 4 seconds slower than my PB. So I'm pretty happy, even though I lost. Good job, man.
Yeah.
Great job to you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if not for 7-8, we're probably looking at a really strong PB. I mean, that was really like the one thing.
Yeah, true. I mean, 7-8, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not surprised 7-8. We've been around this block before. 7-8 can be kind of a jerk sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So, and you, narfman, I'm just going to take a quick peek at this. Tell exactly.
See, that is match 36.
Oh, it looks like you'll be playing, Zugman? Think. But,
no, actually, looks like you'll be playing the winner of the Haxor and Great White Hope.
Ah. Okay,
Yeah, nice.
Okay, yes, I see. Thank you. All right, well, so maybe some good times there, I think, for you. A chance to play some really good competition.
Yeah, I think we're really closely seated, and actually had a fun opportunity to do a 4-way. So I was against Ace of Arrows, but Haxor and I believe, another player was there. So I think Haxor bested my time by like 5 seconds or something like that. So it should be a good matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's see. So future matches we have coming up real quick. I'll just run down the list here. got a few in the pipeline. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, we have Great White Hope and the Haxor facing off. At 8 p.m. Eastern, Ibuba and Oglib. Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, it's Esmo versus Kerbo. 3 p.m. Eastern Saturday, my co-commentator Rupert will be taking on Outside Lutz. So, lots of Mario 3 coming up in the next few days. So, anything else to add, Rupert?
I don't think I have a lot at the moment. You went through the schedule. I was wondering if Cujo or Narfman, if you had any other thoughts before we start wrapping this up here.
Not really. Just looking forward to the next race, I guess.
Yeah, GG again. Thanks Speed Gaming and thanks commentators Rupert and Proa. That was fun.
All right.
Yeah, it's a good race, and enjoyed it. And best of luck to both of you in your next races.
Yeah, definitely. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yep. Have a good one.
All right. So, I think that will wrap it up here. That's what we got on the calendar tonight. Should be something good going on. Let's see. Yeah, on this channel at 11 Eastern is the Super Metroid NE% race, and also starting at 11 Eastern, the weekly Zelda 2 randomizer race. So, lots of good stuff coming up. So, with that, I think we'll wrap it up here. I'm ProA007, happy to have commentated this match for you, and thanks to Rupert83 for joining me tonight.
Yep, had a lot of fun. Apologize for getting in here a little late. I was commentating the other race, so unfortunately I can't do two at once. But yeah, it's good to commentate with you. It was a good race, and hope everyone enjoyed it. Thanks again to Lawslow and Oglib for running this tournament. The Speed Gaming crew for having this wonderful restream setup that we're able to use to restream these races. So big thanks to everyone involved. It's been an enjoyable tournament so far, and looking forward to the next matches coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you all again very soon. Have a good night, everybody.
Yep. Have a good night.